Dilly. Hey guys, how you doing? Today I'm going to be showing you how to service your transmission on your 2013 Volkswagen Jetta SE with a 6-speed transmission. Some things are a little different if you choose to do it my way. It's a little bit cheaper and a little bit easier versus doing it by the book. I'll show you, or I'll tell you both ways, and I'll show you the way that I do that. It's a little different because on your engine, if you're changing your engine oil, you can add oil in through the top. Whereas a transmission, you're going to have to fill it either through the drain plug with the oil transfer pump, or there's a sensor down here that connects to the pan. And if you pull the sensor out just slightly, you can sneak a 1/4-inch tubing through the wall there and then fill it that way. And so I'll show you the things that you're going to need, the steps to go by to drain and fill your pan, and then also the intervals. So let's start with some of the important things that you're going to want to make sure your car transmission fluid in your whole car is cold. So do this on a cold night or early morning hours. When we fill the level on it, we're only going to fill it about 1 inch, and the oil temperature that is normally read through the VAGCOM or communication device, we're going to use an infrared temperature gun on the pan to read that between 95 and 113. So to start, I would recommend every time you change your oil, every 10,000 miles, loosen the drain plug, get a clean paper towel, and see how gray or burnt your transmission fluid is. It'll go from a light red pink to a gray. You can see here. I don't have a paper towel with me, but then it's starting to get a little bit off color. So about time to service it. So every 10,000 miles you'll take a sample. Every 30,000 miles we'll just drain the fluid in it, and then every 60,000 miles we'll change the filter. To change the filter, you'll need a filter change kit, which comes with a gasket, a filter, and you'll need to buy some RTV to help hold the gasket up when you put it up there, and clean up the gasket surfaces. So you'll take the pan down, take the filter off, has a little bolt there, I believe, and then put it all back and wipe out the pan, make sure everything looks good. Since it's a closed loop system, you generally aren't going to have any contaminants that get inside your transmission. The only thing that happens over time is you lose the lubricity of your oil from it getting really hot and cycling, oxidizing, just from the air that's already inside the engine, and the contaminants where it turns gray is from your transmission wearing. So you should never really have to replace your filter, but I like to do that every 60 to 100,000 miles. So 30,000 mile change, 60 to 100,000, clean out the pan, wipe it all out and everything too. So to start, you're going to want a jack and an oil pan. I like to raise it a little bit so it gives me room to get under there to where I can see everything easy. You might be able to sneak in. You'll need some Valvoline, half-life, full synthetic. This is what I've been using for 250,000 miles. Volkswagen says that it's a lifetime fluid, lifetime transmission, but it only lasts you 100,000. So I've been using this for 250,000. So Valvoline, Max Life, full synthetic. You only need about 2 quarts, and one jug will do. You add a little bit more than what you took out because of how you fill it. And then you're gonna need some gloves, probably some brake cleaner to clean around the sensor that I'm gonna be pulling. And then I'm gonna be using a small funnel here or a long funnel with this 1/4-inch drip tubing attached to it to fill it. And to remove both of the drain plug and level plug, you will need a 5mm Allen key. Shouldn't be too tight, you might need a socket or something. And then to remove the sensor, I believe it's an 8mm bolt. It has a little O-ring and a clamp on it. The clamp has a bolt through it, so remove the 8mm bolt head and pull it out. It'll be kind of stiff to pull out the sensor, and wiggle it out, but don't pull it all the way real hard. I'll show you guys that in a second. So to go over the steps, we're just going to be doing, and by the way, you never need to flush your transmission tube. You can just do this drain and fill, drive it a little bit, and then do another drain and fill, and it acts like a flush. The important thing that I'm going to use is a $25 Harbor Freight infrared thermometer. The other way by the book would be to use a VAGCOM communication device or some type of OBD device that reads the transmission oil temperature. So again, when you change it, make sure you do it on a cold night, early morning, or cold night after you haven't driven it, because when we fill it back up, the level on it is only about an inch of oil in the pan. This sits in the bottom of the pan, I'll show you in a second. And this level comes up, and at 95 degrees, that's what you want the level to be. So your pan can't be hotter than 113, or else you get an improper level. If it's colder than 95, then you get an improper level. So the steps to start, you're going to remove your bottom undercovering. So they're little T25 Torx. Take that and then remove your bottom drip tray. And then you're going to go ahead and then remove your oil plug. I'll show you where that is in a second, with your 5mm hex key. And right on top of the oil plug sits the level plug, like that, and the pan is right here. So we remove both of these, 5mm, and let all the oil drain out into your pan here. After all the oil is drained out, you will then reinstall your level plug, and then you're going to remove the sensor that I'm going to show you in a second, the bolt on it. Pull the sensor out just a little bit. There's wires that go down and into the transmission. You want to be careful not to break those wires. Through your top of your engine bay here, with the funnel, you'll drop down into right between where the sensor meets up with the transmission. You'll fill it with a little bit more than you took out. I like to spray the sensor right around it, right before I remove it, so that way there's no contaminants get inside of it. So then you're going to refill it, remember, with the plug out, but the level plug in, and refill it about 2.5 quarts maybe of oil. You will see it draining out into your pan down below here. It'll be constantly kind of draining out, and that's how you know you've added enough fluid. Once you've added your 2.5 quarts of fluid, and it's probably stopped draining at this point, you're going to get back in your car. It might still be draining, a little bit out. You're going to get back in your car, start it up, shift it from neutral, drive reverse, drive neutral, back and forth a couple times. You'll get back under here. It goes kind of fast, maybe a couple minutes, and then you're going to read the temperature on your transmission oil pan, and then once this reaches 95 degrees to 113, I close it at 95. You close in your full oil plug. And so after you've added your oil, make sure you button up your transmission sensor. That's why it can take a couple minutes, and it'll probably stop draining. So when you get down here, the other way, if you don't want to fill through the sensor, is you'll use an oil transfer pump, and you'll pump up through the level plug when it's already in the engine, or the transmission. So let's get down here, take a look at some of the spots that I talked about. If you look over here, this is your transmission on the driver's side. This is the pan here. And this back corner, right here, see if I get it to focus. That back corner has the level plug and the drain plug. The level plug sits on top of it, all in a line. So remove both those and drain it all. And the sensor I talked about is right here. You can see this is where the bolt is on the clamp there, and you're going to sneak in right in this gap that 1/4-inch tubing, and so we don't have to pump it up, because it's a big mess usually when you use a transfer pump and pump up through there. So I spray this, clean it all off around here with the brake cleaner, and then I sneak in the 1/4-inch tubing through the engine bay with the long reach funnel usually connected to that 1/4-inch drip tubing, for drip irrigation, right into here, this gap right there. Make sure you don't pull this all the way out. There are wires that go down into here, and you'll rip out the actual sensor wires. So be careful on that, and then make sure you push this fully back in. There's an O-ring there that seals it, as well as the 8mm bolt there. If you guys have any questions, feel free to let me know down below. But remember, after you filled it through there with the level plug in, you're going to go back, we push the sensor in, go back, and we'll be draining constantly here out into your drip pan. You'll go and you'll start your car and go neutral, drive, reverse, back and forth a couple times. You'll come back under here, and we'll sit with our temperature gauge. Instead of reading it off of the VADCOM, we'll just use this, and once this gets to 95 degrees, then we'll shut it off the car as well as put the plug in. So, hope this helped you guys save some money, and let me know if you have any questions. Take care, guys.